Welcome to the Sam and Joe VA Show, where we teach women just like you how to start and scale a thriving virtual assistant business.
We're your hosts, Sam and Joe, and get ready to have the control, flexibility, and freedom you've always dreamed of.
Welcome to episode 168, The Downsides to Being a Bloody Great VA.
This episode is dedicated to all of those virtual assistants that are listening in, that care about their clients. They're really good at their jobs. They want to make a difference in their clients' lives to the detriment of their health, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. The outcome of being this bloody great VA is that often it leads to that horrible burnout place.
Yeah. Burnout, stressed, overwhelmed. They end up in tears and phone calls and Zoom calls and DMing us because they're just at a loss. They don't know how they got to this point where all of a sudden this business of theirs is just totally out of control. But, you know, if this is you, it's because you're a bloody great VA.
Yes. There are absolutely downsides to being a bloody great VA. Because you're so often really lovely, wanting to help people, and you have that amazing personality of really caring
Genuine,
and wanting
deep down, like it oozes out of you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wanting to do a really good job, caring deeply about those clients and the work you do.
Yeah. Because we're not saying that we don't want you to be good VAs.
Yeah, we don't want you to be a shit VA so that you stop all of these like burnout issues and overwhelm issues from happening.
But we do want you to start putting yourself first so you don't end up sick or just having to walk away from it all because it's just all too much.
Yeah. Falling out of love with your business, not a great place to be.
No. Oh my God. If you're listening and you're feeling this deep down, we are reaching out to you and giving you a virtual hug right now. Because there are so many, we personally know virtual assistants that if they're not in this space right now, they have been, or they might be, they're really close to it. And we just don't want that for you.
But, you know, the hardest thing is that, like, you, if you're in this position, because you're such a bloody great VA and care so much, it's actually you that has caused you to get to this place, which is so heartbreaking. Because often you have said yes to everything and you struggle to say no.
Yeah. Like, you know, deep down you shouldn't take on this new client, or you know deep down you've got a client that isn't serving you, isn't healthy for you for whatever reason. And it's probably time to let them go. But that loyalty that you feel for them, the friendship that you've made with them, that's stopping you from doing what's actually best for you and your business.
Oh, it's tough. We get it. It's so tough. You can't continue working for wrong fit clients. Like, whatever a wrong fit can be a lot of different things, right? Whatever makes them the wrong fit client, you gotta let those ones go.
Yeah, I think there might be this misconception about the term wrong fit client. Like, a wrong fit client doesn't have to be a pain in the ass client, a client that doesn't pay you well or pay you on time, they could pay you $1 million to do what you do. They might be the nicest person on earth, but they're a wrong fit client for other reasons.
Yeah, it could be that the work is actually not in your realm of expertise.
Mm-hmm.
It could be that they need nights and weekends and they call you 24/7. It could be that the things that they need are just not filling you with joy. There's lots of different reasons. Some of them are just like, it's just making my heart like, it's because sometimes they're so lovely and you love them as a person.
Mm-hmm. And you've done such a good job at being their virtual assistant that you're an integral part of their business. Like I bet you might be thinking, if I step away, what on earth are they going to do without me? They rely on me so much.
Yep. Let's talk about boundaries. Because we know that you don't have many boundaries at the detriment of your health, your well-being, your enjoyment.
Well, yeah, and let's be honest, some of the best virtual assistants that we have met over the last few years, they're people pleasers. They are lovely, lovely people pleasers.
They will drop anything for their clients.
Yes.
They will pick up the phone whenever they call because the client must need something. And the client loves them.
Yes. The relationship's great. But when you get to this point, those boundaries, you've said goodbye to them without even realizing it. It creeps up on you slowly, doesn't it? Boundaries, the lack of, or all of a sudden you're not maintaining any of them. Like you may have started off with great intentions about your working hours. All of a sudden, like, how did I get to this point? Why am I answering the phone call at 9 o'clock at night? Why am I having to go into the office on a Saturday? This wasn't my plan going in. How did I get to this point?
It does. It creeps up on you. It's like incremental. That one time that they called you and you answered, and then the next time it's an hour later, and then the next time it's on a weekend.
Can't sustain it.
No. And you can put the boundaries back in place. It does take stepping out into your courage zone, outside of that comfort zone, and having a courageous conversation with your client. Because it is possible to put those boundaries back in place.
Mm-hmm. Got to have those conversations because chances are they've got no idea. They have got no idea how this business relationship is affecting you. They've got no idea that you picking up that phone call at 9 o'clock is actually affecting your relationship with your partner or your children. You sitting down at your desk Saturday morning means that you're missing that soccer match that's happening down the road. They won't know unless you tell them.
Yeah. Something else we see with bloody great VAs is they get very overbooked. Few things can contribute to that. One is that they are so good, their clients want them to do more and more. So they are asked, can we increase our hours? Can you do this? Can you do that? And before you know it, they've got the same number of clients, but they're doing so much more work for them, and suddenly you're overbooked.
This is a classic sign of a really good virtual assistant. You are knocking their socks off. So why wouldn't they want more of you? It just makes sense. This is a compliment. It's good for our ego. When our ego feels good, this doesn't help us saying no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Another way is that, like, if you struggle to say no, that you just keep saying yes to more and more clients because you get referred. People are talking about you. You've got a reputation for being a bloody great VA and you keep getting leads.
Yeah.
You don't want to say no.
You don't want to say no.
You want to help people.
Because you're a bloody great VA and a bloody great person. The other thing we see with bloody great VAs is gold plating, because they want to over deliver. It's really important that they make sure that every single client that they're working for is getting 150% effort.
How is 150% actually possible, Sam Brown?
I don't know. I'm just being dramatic. But you understand my point. They want to go above and beyond in order to impress this client.
So they can see ways that they can make it better and better and better and better.
Yeah.
And they want to do that. Again, it's good for their ego. They want to get the good feedback.
Oh, yeah. To hear a client absolutely have their minds blown with what you've delivered for them, and for them to say, oh my, this is just incredible. Like you've just exceeded my expectations. Okay, on one hand, that's really nice to hear. On another, oh, hold on. Exceeding expectations, is that profitable? Probably not.
Because doing the extra takes extra time, for sure.
And this is the same thing with scope creep as well. For those virtual assistants that are continuously having to deal with scope creep with their clients, it's only the good VAs that experience this, because if you're a bad VA, your client is not going to want you to do more and a little bit more and this as well, and can we add this on? It's only because you're wowing them with what you're doing that they're like, oh, geez, I need to get to do, let's add this to the job as well.
Yeah, scope creep. Again, this is unprofitable. You did not think about all of the things that you actually delivered back when you were thinking about what the budget needs to be, what that fixed fee needs to be. So every moment that you do extra is eroding that profit of that job.
Yeah. So if you are a virtual assistant and you know you're a bloody good virtual assistant and you are experiencing health issues, you're stressed, you're burnt out, you're overwhelmed, and or you're not making any money, it's time to turn things around, because you can be a great virtual assistant and a great business owner. Like, it's absolutely possible to be both.
It absolutely is possible. We have another episode coming out very soon where we're going to talk about that exact thing. The differences between a great VA and a great VA business owner.
Final words of advice for those really, really great VAs that care so much, Jo.
You've got to start putting yourself first, having those boundaries, saying no, practicing saying no, getting into that courage zone to have those conversations, because if you don't, you're going to get burnt out. You're going to fall out of love with your business, and it's not going to be profitable like you want it to be. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Sam and Jo VA Show. If you'd like to find out more, head to the VA Foundry website to check out the mastermind and the amazing resources, courses, and coaching.
You can find us at thevafoundry.com.